Hi guys, my name is Ivan and you're listening your favorite, well, okay, maybe it's not favorite. Maybe it's not even second to favorite. Maybe you have never heard of this podcast because we haven't been podcasting since September the 5th last year. So it has been more than a year that Purity and I haven't been doing this Fantasy NBA podcast, and Purity is not here right now. She's working. Somebody has to work, I guess. So this is how we would start this podcast, and Purity would say, "Hello guys, this is Fantasy NBA God podcast, the greatest fantasy basketball podcast of all time." So we're gonna do this today without Purity. It's not gonna be funny or fun for me that much doing this without my wife, but we decided to start this podcast again, to restart it, and it would be shame to after 40 episodes just to stop doing this. And recently, if you've been following the fantasy basketball podcasting scene, you probably saw that there are many fantasy basketball podcasts were shut down during last year, starting March when Corona kicked, and in next several months, most of these big fantasy basketball podcasts they were paused, and since then they didn't come back. There's many of smaller ones that took their place, so there is approximately the same number of fantasy basketball podcasts, but these big ones, I don't know if they're coming back. I don't know what's going on. We don't consider ourselves as a big fantasy basketball podcast where our slogan was, "We are the family basketball podcast." We're trying to be funny and to give you some serious and some good infos too. And today we're going to talk about dynasty fantasy basketball. If you are starting, if this is your first draft in Dynasty Fantasy Basketball League, if you are starting a league this season, or if you are rebuilding your team, so you can use this. You can use this for these two different occasions. We're gonna go through the list that is provided by #basketball.com. They're not our sponsors. We are not promoting them, so there's no reason for me to praise them if they were bad, but they're not. They're actually good, and there are many others. There may be even better, but you have to pay for those other sites. And if you are just, I don't know, beginner, occasional player, you don't care about fantasy that much, or if you are experienced player and you need a little help, why paying when we can come here, find decent information that you can use. It's really helpful. What what level you are, it will help you. The beginner, season-long player, it can be really useful. And these guys I see they're updating their projections for redraft leagues, dynasty leagues, sleepers, everything you can find here. So let's start, and we will do as much as we can. As I'm not gonna, we'll see at the end how many players we did. As long I have strength to talk. I haven't been podcasting for a long time, so yeah, I'm not in the best podcasting shape right now. Not in a. So okay, let's start. So the first guys they have here is Luka Doncic. At the moment, he's 22 years old and 6 months. At Yahoo, I guess most of you, well, yeah, most of you are probably playing at Yahoo, but if you're playing Dynasty League, there is also a chance that you're playing at Fantrax. I play at Yahoo. I've been playing for 21 years, and I'm not gonna be moving to Fantrax, but this upcoming after this season is done, I'm planning to open postseason league in on Fantrax. So I played that postseason leagues before. It's this site that nowadays they charge for playing Fantrax. As I saw last spring, it's completely free. Everything is free. There are no restrictions. So if you want to play postseason, but postseason is far away from now, so let's concentrate on this. Before we start, I want to tell you what is my opinion if you are drafting in a Dynasty Fantasy Basketball League for a first time. Many people will tell you you have three solutions. First solution is to go with young players. I will elaborate later what my opinion is. Second solution is to go with seasoned players who are in their 60s, in their 30s, mid 30s, which you can get really, well, depending on your draft. If you're drafting in a auction draft or you are drafting in classic draft, classic snaking drafts, doesn't matter. You can get them cheap or much lower than usually in redraft leagues. So if you're doing that, there are chances that you can, not there are chances, the chance that you're going to win your league this first season and maybe season after that, the chance is much bigger than if you decide to draft young players, rookies, sophomores, third-year players, and generally young players that haven't reached their prime yet. And of course, there is also a third option. Third option is some mixture of those, of the option number one and option number two. You get some young players, you get some old players, and I'm gonna tell you immediately, just don't do that. Like this is the worst possible option. Like just avoid that, because you're gonna be like these NBA players that are bad but they're contending for a A seed, you know, like something like maybe like I don't know, Detroit last season. They're not gonna get good picks next season. I mean, you're not gonna get a good pick next season, or you're maybe just gonna qualify for a playoff, and like that's all. You're just gonna be in the middle for seasons to come. So this is not very good idea. Also, if you ask me, I would not draft old players, even though you can win league this year, this season, next season, after some time, after maybe 2-3 years, you will have to do a rebuild. You will have to do what we are going to talk about today, rebuild, or drafting young players. So, and the most important thing why I recommend drafting young or younger players that are not in their prime yet, is that it's much more fun. It's I've been playing this fantasy basketball for 21 seasons now, and I've been playing Dynasty League for my first Dynasty League maybe it was 08 maybe, yeah, something like that. 08 maybe, yeah, 08. And I never had so much fun as when I was rebuilding my team, when I was getting these young players, rookies, that were exploding after their first, second year, like Karl Anthony Towns, Nikola Jokic. Okay, he didn't explode after his first year, but I had like 90% of my players were young guys, and for me this period of rebuilding that I have was because I drafted older players at the beginning. I won the league exactly like twice. I will have to make a pause. Purity is probably calling me on a cell phone. I'm sorry. So guys, I'm sorry, I had to cut. It was Purity calling from her work, from her lunch break, and I told her I'm recording a podcast, and she was like, "Why are you doing it without me?" So she would like to, after I'm done recording for today, maybe we do maybe we continue tomorrow, so you will get one episode first with me and then with Purity. I don't know, we'll see, because she has a day off tomorrow, so maybe you get to hear Purity tomorrow too. We'll see. But for the next episode, that's a promise, she will be here too. It's right now it's hard to make a time for us to do it, to have a spare time, to have a free time at the same time. So anyways, I was talking about how much fun it is to do this rebuild, or just to draft young guys, and how much fun you get from watching these players grow and becoming superstars, or just stars, or you draft someone like or you just pick someone from a waiver wire who is a free agent, like I did, for example, with Devin Booker, Miles Turner, so many guys I cannot even remember anymore. So many of these young guys that they were just seated there on a waiver wire as a free agents, and now they're I also got a Jokic as a somebody was not patient with him, and that was his second year, and I took him as a free agent. So yeah, I recommend you doing this, not just going for wins. For me, this is more fun than winning the league, and just my advice. So do as you would like, whatever makes you enjoy more. So these guys from #basketball, for this rebuilding type of draft, or starting with young players, their first player on this list is Luka Doncic. 22 years, 6 months on Yahoo. He is a point guard and shooting guard. ADP 1.6. And these are projections. I forgot to tell you, these are projections that they did. I will tell you the name of the guy that did this. I don't want to be that I stealing his content and not giving him credit. It's Joseph. I'm sorry, Joseph, if I'm not pronouncing your last name right. may moan. I'm sorry, but yeah, Joseph. It's Twitter. He's Joseph Mamone. One word, of course. So he's projecting Luka as a pick. It's the best player to pick number 1. He's projecting him to play 75 games. You know the deal with field goals and free throws with Luka. Not very great. He's projecting 3 threes per game this next season. 28.3 points, 8.2 rebounds, 8.8 assists, 1 steal, 0.5 blocks. Turnover side is like, let's not read turnovers. No, nobody cares about it. It's automatic punt anyways. So yeah, many people think that he will fix these free throws and maybe field goals. We'll see. Have nothing against picking Luka at the pick number 1. I think that's he's 4 years younger than Jokic. Exactly 4 years younger, and he's reaching his prime in 4 years from now. So Jokic, of course, pick number 2. He's in his prime, 26 years, 6 months old. Positions, power forward, center. So you can do rebuild, or like he fits for everything. He's just entered his prime. As you know, in all these other leagues, he's pick number 1. He's projected to play 77 games this year because they said they're gonna rest him a little bit. I don't know how that little bit is going to be, how many games they're gonna rest him. Here it's projected 5 games. Not much to say about Jokic, you know. Blocks is his weakness. He's a center that doesn't block a lot of shots. Everything else is just great. He's gonna play without Murray this season. We'll see if he will build some chemistry with Michael Porter. And saying that, I have to make another break. I'm not in a... I gotta drink some water. I'm not at my best podcasting. My podcasting training. Not podcasting fit right now. So just a little break. So sorry guys, but as you know, this is how this podcast is. Purity and I, we're not very professional. I'm answering calls during the podcast, drinking water. Probably next I'm gonna make some break to have my second lunch. And I hope I finish this by, I don't know, in next 5-6 hours. Okay, let's go to position number 3, Karl Anthony Towns. He's younger than Jokic, 25 years, 9 months old. On Yahoo, he's just a center. Whatever punt strategy you are employing, he's good at everything. So you can do whatever punt you want with him. He's projected to play 72 games this season. I think it's gonna be more, and I think he had really tough time last year. Before that, I think this is gonna be his season. I I have Cat in my team. I drafted him as a pick number 1 when he was in his rookie season, and like I've been following this guy for I don't know how many years now. This is his, I don't know which year, like fifth, sixth, I don't know. So I think like he's finally gonna go back to being old Cat, being healthy. I mean, you cannot predict those things. He's not injury prone, so he's not one of these guys that has some lingering, repeating injuries. So I think he's gonna stay healthy, and I hope he finally has his head, at the right place, and that he's gonna have a good season. So next guy on the list is Giannis Antetokounmpo. 26 years, 8 months old, available at power forward and center position. Projected to play 74 games. Also not that good at free throws. Everything else, okay, threes are also not his strong side. Everything else really good. So I don't have a problem with drafting Giannis. That he's gonna be great this season. Yeah, nothing much to say. These guys that we are listing, like they are perfect players. There's nothing much to say. You know everything about them, so we should probably hurry up and get to some, let's say, a little bit more questionable guys, so we have something to talk about. Jason Tatum, yeah, he's real the best small forward at this list, and amongst young players, projected to play 76 games this year. I think he will get better this year. He still has room to grow. He's only 23 years old, 23 years, 6 months old. Great points, rebounds, steals. Okay, he's a small forward. You cannot expect some crazy blocks, and blocks are not good. Free throw percentage, everything really good. I'm expecting strong season. He's also one of these guys that doesn't get injured, so do not hesitate. Number 5, like, really good spot to pick. Jason Tatum. Trae Young, 23 years old, exactly 23 years old. I don't know, his birthday was probably in last 30 days, which is not important whatsoever. Yeah, I didn't say Jason Tatum, small forward and power forward. He might be playing power forward for Boston this season because they don't have, I don't know what they're going to do with that position. We'll see. Trae Young also good at threes, 2.4 threes, 24.7 points projected, 9.5 assists. So out of all these guys, Luka Doncic is 8.8, he's 9.5, Jokic is 7.9, so he's projected to has the most assists amongst these guys. The most rebounds is Jokic. The most rebounds will have projected to have Jokic and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Cat is really close. There are 11 rebounds. Cat is 10.6. The most points. Luka Doncic 28.3, 28 Giannis, 27.8 Jokic. Trey, did I say 24.7? And also I don't have problem drafting Trey this high. I don't know if I would drafting at number 6, but yeah, he's projected to play 78 games this season. Maybe too much if you ask me, I'm not sure, but we'll see. Next guy is Bam Adebayo, 24 years old and 2 months, projected to play 76 games. He's projected to score 18.7 points this season, 8.9 rebounds, double-digit steals, 1.2, 1 block, 4.1 assists, really good free throws, almost 80%, 79.9. I like Ben. I have Ben in my dynasty league. I don't know if I would take him this high. I still think that he has room to grow, but even if he stays where he is at this level, he's still a great player. Zion Williams is 8th. Zion Williams, who is not happy, obviously, over there in New Orleans. There are some rumors he's not going to extend his rookie contract. He's a power forward over there, 72 games projected to play. Field goals 61.3%, really low threes 0.2, 28.6 points, a lot of rebounds 7.6, decent assist 4.3, 1 steal and 0.7 blocks. Yeah, if you're starting your league with Zion Williams, have nothing against that. That's a good decision. Next guy, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 23 years, 2 months old, available at point guard and shooting guard. Maybe he gets also small forward during the season. I don't know. It's possible. It's maybe even probable. I don't know what Oklahoma is planning to do this season. If they're going to rest him like the last season. I know he's projected to play 70 games here. Nobody knows. Like if they let him play, this is steal at that position. Okay, it's not a steal. This is where he should be, position number 9. He's really great player. 2 threes, 24 points, almost 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 0.8 steals, 0.7 blocks for a guy who is point guard, shooting guard. Excellent player. Start your league with him. Start your team with him. Next guy, number 10, LaMelo Ball. Maybe you will say this is too high. I don't think this is too high. I think he has a lot of room to grow. He's just 20 years old, 20 years and 1 month. I think he's in first 10. Yeah, of course, he's the youngest player in first 10. After him is Cade Cunningham, who is rookie, and he's 20 years old, so just 1 month younger than him. And LaMelo already has one season played in the league. he's projected to play 73 games this season. Projecting to, his game is fantasy friendly. That's that's no question about it. Like Tyrese Halliburton, he's also, I mean, he's great. Not like Tyrese Halliburton, who is he's typical guy, typical player who is great in fantasy basketball, who's very good at fantasy basketball, but in the real basketball, not even that great. In like in fantasy basketball, and in fantasy basketball he will probably get even better. But LaMelo Ball is great in fantasy basketball. Real life basketball, he's gonna be leading that team this season. Projected to score 2.1 threes per game, 18.6 points, 6.7 rebounds, 7 assists, 1.7 steals. That's just great. Okay, Kate Cunningham at number 11. I like rookies. I like risking, but I would, if you're playing a dynasty league with, okay, I would recommend you to play dynasty league. My setting is 10 teams, 13 players per team. I don't want to get deeper into positions and all that, but 10 teams, 13 players per team, and for 2 IL plus and 2 IL slots. So that's 4 slots for injured players. I would not suggest you. The more teams you have in your league, if you are a commissioner, it's much harder for you to. Every year someone is gonna quit. Okay, not every year, but like in my league, every 2 years I calculated that every 2 years someone quits. And last season I had 2 guys quitting, and it was really hard. It's really hard to find someone for a dynasty league. So the more teams you have in your league, it's gonna be more tougher for you as a commissioner, or if you're playing in that league, you're risking for the league to fall apart. If commissioner doesn't know many people, or he doesn't want to bother finding 2, 3, 4, 5 new guys, if your league is really huge, then league is gonna fall apart. 10 is some decent number. 8 is just too small. So with 10 guys, I think you can handle it. And I'm talking about that, about league size, because if you are taking, if you have, I don't know, you can start even with 12. 12 is some classic format. When you listen to other podcasts and fantasy analysts talking about players, they use 12 as some like classic format, 12 teams. So Kate Cunningham is number 11 here. That means that your best player that you're gonna draft is Kate Cunningham. And I'm not gonna say you're taking cat in a bag, but just starting, you taking your best player, your first pick, using your first pick on a rookie, which like you just don't know. Like you can, this is a risk. All of these guys that we went through, they are none of them is a risk. There is no risk drafting none of these guys. You cannot, whoever you pick, it just depends how you want to build your team. This is the only thing that's important here. But if you're gonna pick, I don't know, LaMelo or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, you're not gonna make a mistake. But if you take a rookie as your first pick, or even as a second, if you are 10 and you have LaMelo and Kate Cunningham, I don't know, it's risk, but it might be fun. It might be fun for you, and that's the most important thing in dynasty leagues, for you to have fun. To don't stress about it. It's dynasty. Everything can be fixed. Everything. It's not like redraft leagues. If you made some mistakes on draft during the year, you're done. in a dynasty league, you can always fix things. There is so much time. So if this is fun for you, you love rookies, by any means, just pick Kate Cunningham. He's not gonna be bad. That's the fact. He's not gonna be bad, and he's a versatile player. He's gonna carry this team. He's gonna be first option. How good he's going to be, I am nobody's oracle. Nobody can tell you that. You will find some people on some other podcasts telling you how good he's going to be. Trust me, nobody can tell you. As a basketball coach, I'm telling you, even if you spend years coaching someone, you don't know how that kid is gonna how he's gonna perform in a professional league. Not just from the basketball point. There are many other things to take into consideration when as we call it, junior goes from junior basketball to senior basketball. There's so many things to consider. It's not just from the basketball aspect. So okay, let's see. He's projected to, I'm going to read all of his stats because he's rookie and it might be interesting. 74 games. He's projected to play 40 his field goals 42.6, free throws percentage 84.1, threes 1.9, points 16.4, rebounds 4.8, threes 3.7, steals 1.2, blocks 0.6, and I'm even gonna read turnovers, even nobody cares about it, 3.5. I think he's gonna, he's gonna like have decent stats all across the board. Nothing stands out, but everything is decent, and depending what you want to do in your if you're playing, this is really important. Pay attention to this. Maybe I should have opened with this. And we will use one podcast just for me to explain to you this thing about categories and what to punt and how to play it, because this is very important. If you're playing category league, and if you're playing dynasty, I guess you're playing category league, you can either play head-to-head, every category is one win, or head-to-head one win, as it's called. So if you have, like, I don't know, 9 categories or like my league, 7 categories. In my league, 7 categories, you just need 4 categories to win. In 4 categories, you lose 3 categories. This is win for you. So you don't care if you want 7-0, 6-1, 5-2, 4-3. It's win for you. So head-to-head one win. It's better to implement this hard punt during the draft or during the season. Of course, that should be your strategy. You're playing every category is a win, then it's different. Then Kate Cunningham is more important in the league where every category counts. But if you're doing a hard punt, these projected stands, he doesn't stand out in any category. He can help you all across the board, but if you're punting 3 categories out of 7 or 5 out of 4 out of 5, there's some categories that you just don't need. And if someone is good all across the board, it's better to have someone who is good. If you're punting 3 and you want to be good in 4 categories, you need someone who's going to be good. For example, in my league, offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, blocks, and points. That's for example, that's a center like Clint Capella, for example. Okay, let's move on. Domantas Sabonis. I told you, he can't him. 20 years old, exactly 20 years old. Domantas Sabonis, 25.4 years old. Yeah, did I say Kane Cunningham, point guard, shooting guard? Sabonis, power forward, center. Um, his stats for this season, as you know, he's good in points, almost 20 points. He's projected to score 19.9, rebounds 11.6, low blocks like always, decent steals for his position. I mean, okay, steals 1.2, a lot of assists for his position, 6.4, and yeah, you gotta punt blocks with him. That's he's a big man that doesn't block. Would I take him this high? I don't know. I wouldn't. Like, I wouldn't take him this high. This is, it all depends on your league, on your lead settings, on your strategy. When someone tells you this guy should go at this position, no, like, it all depends on your team build, on your strategy, on the settings. It's I'm just giving you some projections, what I think about the player, how he's gonna evolve, but I'm not gonna tell you pick him at this or that position. I'm just commenting this position because I don't think you're playing a classic default league. Nobody is. I mean, majority of I don't know anyone who's playing default league. There's every league is almost every league is different in some way, and so just you have to see what your league is, what you need, what's your strategy, and then maybe Domantas Sabonis fits perfectly for your league. You need a lot of points, you need rebounds, you need assists. Perfect guy at this position. Michael Porter Jr., 23 years, 2 months old, small forward, power forward. Jamal Murray is injured. Is he gonna develop some chemistry with Jokic this season? We'll have to see. He's projected 67 games this season. Is that too low? I don't know. People probably still think that he's still injury prone because of the operation that he had and the season that he missed, but the projections are really nice here. 3 threes, 20.8 points, 7.9 rebounds, so a lot of rebounds, 1.2 assists, low assists, 0.7 steals, low steals, and 0.9 blocks. Also, okay, well, yeah, that's for someone who is small for power forward. 0.9 blocks, not that great, but he's been hyped a lot, and maybe I'm under influence of all of these guys that I read and listen to. But I believe in him. I would draft him. I tried to draft him last year in my dynasty league. He went just the guy before me. Just he took him. Number 14, Zach LaVine, 26 years and 5 months old, small, a shooting guard, small forward for the Bulls. He's in his prime. If you want to start with a guy who's in his prime and get a few more great years from him, 3.3 threes, 26 points, everything else average. I don't know why. 72 games projected to play. I wouldn't draft Zach LaVine in this type. We are talking about rebuilding. We are talking drafting young players. Donovan Mitchell, 25 years old, point guard, shooting guard. Also 72 games projected to play. Really similar projected stats. Almost the same. This is almost the same stats as Zach Levine here projected, like literally almost the same. Is he gonna become a better defender as he was at college? That would help a lot. I don't know. He's not that young, even though he's not that young, even though you would think so. Jaren Jackson Jr., an enigma, power forward center, projected to play 70 games this season. What to expect from Jaren Jackson Jr.? Do you want to take a risk with him? He's talented young guy, power forward center with 2 threes, projected 17.8 points, almost 7 blocks, 1.8 sorry, 7 blocks, that would be great, almost 7 rebounds, 6.9, 1.1 steal, 1.8 blocks, and 2 threes. This is really good stats. Low turnovers, if you care about that. This is really good stats if he can do this. But the question if he can do this. So if you want to risk with him, he's young. He's 22 years old. So at number 16, maybe not that much risk. He just needs to stay healthy. Jaylen Brown, number 17. Jaylen Brown is getting better and better, a little by little, a bit better every year. He's just progressing every year. Is there still room to progress? Why not? He's 24 years old, 9 months. Shooting guard, small forward, projected to play 72 games. A lot of threes, almost 3 threes per game, a lot of points, almost 25, almost 6 rebounds, 1.2 steals, not that many assists for a guard, 3.4. Yeah, why not? DeAndre Ayton at number 18. He's a center. He had a great playoff run. No, I don't know if this can be too high for him, but still he's 23 years, 2 months old. He's still young. Is there any room for progression? No threes, 15.6 points, almost 11 rebounds, low steals, low blocks for a center. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe to risk with someone else at this position. Brandon Ingram, I just don't know how Ingram is gonna get better. People expected after his breakout season for him to get, well, I don't know what people expected. I don't know. Number 19 is maybe too high, maybe 24 years, 1 month old, small forward, power forward, 2.3 threes, 23.9 points projected, low steals, low blocks, rebounds almost 5, assists almost 5, good free throws, 73 games. They're projecting he will play. And DeAndre Ayton, number 20. What am I saying, DeAndre Ayton? I'm getting tired. I'm just De'Aaron Fox. I'm sorry, De'Aaron Fox, 23 years old and 8 months, point guard. You know everything about his percentages, low free throws, Threes, not, he's projected only 1.8 threes, but 26 points, 7.2 assists, 1.5 steals. Of course, no rebounds. Expected to play 73 games this season. I don't know. I would project him. I would project more. These projections for him. It looks very depressive, if you ask me. After him, we have Ja Morant, 22 years, 1 month old, point guard, 73 games this season, same as De'Aaron Fox projected. 1.4 threes. He's one of these guys who is much better. Well, you know all that. Much better real life player than fantasy player. He's great. His assists are projected 7 point. Okay, that's not great. I mean, 7.9 for a point guard, but that's good. You know. Steals 1 only. Did I say 21 points? 21.2, 1.4 threes. That's low. Like, he's projected this high, and these stats that is projected here looks, yeah, pretty much depressing. Tyrese Halliburton, we mentioned him, number 22 here, 21 years, 6 months old, 72 games, good free throws, 2.5 threes, projected 15.8 points, decent assists, rebounds not so good. I don't know. We'll see what's this guy. I don't know what to expect from him in this second season. Like, he was good in last season. I cannot say that he was great. Some people would say, especially during the last season, that he's much better than this next guy that we are going to talk about. But this next guy, I would draft him much higher. That's Anthony Edwards. He's 20 years old and only 1 month. Small guard, shooting guard for Timberwolves. He's going to score a lot of points, a lot of threes. 2.6 threes projected, 21.5 points, almost 5 rebounds, 1.2 steals, 3.5 assists. I think this can be much higher. I think these points can be much higher. I don't know about other stats. We'll have to see. And there is some talk about trades between Wolves, T-Wolves and 76ers. If they get Ben Simmons, then somebody will have to take those shots. If they ship D'Angelo Russell and Malik Beasley, like, there is a bunch of shots left for him to take, and he might just go crazy and shoot. I don't know. Be one of, I don't know, top 5, 6, 7 scorers in a league. Okay, let's try to hurry up now. We have Devin Booker at number 24. As long, I'm not gonna go through all stats. You know everything about Devin Booker. He's most about points. Even his threes are down now. Assists are down. If Chris Paul gets injured, I don't think whatever happened to Chris Paul that will make Booker play more. It will help Booker a lot to jump many positions. on this board because he was much better before Booker came and took those assists when Booker was a point guard. Now he's listed as shooting guard, small forward. You know that story. You know everything about Booker. This guy this guy might be the biggest enigma amongst rookies. Not because we cannot. Well, actually, we cannot project his stats that well this season. Here, I'm talking. I'm sorry, I'm talking about Evan Mobley, center for Cavs. Is he going to be center or a power forward? He's listed as a center on Yahoo. He's probably going to get power forward position too. Projected to play 73 games. His main categories that he's going to be good at are points. They're projecting him for 12.1. On a summer league, as I can remember, he had 11 rebounds. They're projecting him 7.5. At summer league, I think he had 5, and blocks 1.7. On summer league, he had 2, if I'm right, exactly 2. Steals 0.7, which is not that great. Assists 1.9, which is not that great. Threes 0.6. If those threes can be better, if they can go over 1 point something, then these stats that I just read is much better. But I don't know if I could if I'm sure I would not draft him this high, because if the Cleveland didn't resign Jarrett Allen for 5 years, if the Cleveland didn't trade for Larry Markkanen, if they don't have Kevin, I don't even know if he's gonna play or not. If this guy had his starting center position since the day one, he would be clearly on this list top 10, probably clearly top 2 amongst all the rookies in a dynasty format, in a redraft format, in any format. But now things are so complicated, and 25 in front of some other rookies, I just would not risk it. Miles Turner 25.5. If Miles Turner can, his power forward center, as you know, everything depends on blocks. He's projected to have 3 blocks this season. Points, same as always here, 12.4. He's always around 13 points. Rebounds 6.4. Everything else, steals less than 1, 0.9. Threes 1.5. Okay, that's okay. That's kind of decent. If he can just get out of Indiana, he would be great, great fantasy player. But I don't know, he's stuck there, and if his blocks go down, he will go down on any list. But I think he's, as long as he's in Indiana, this is going to be his stats. He's projected to play 72 games this season. I think that's a little bit too much for him. He's kind of injury prone. He has these small injuries like finger, wrist joint, elbow. It's all like 2 weeks, 10 days, 3 weeks, all the time with him. But he's useful with these blocks. He can single-handedly win you blocks category if you have him. I mean, I love this guy. I would like if he can get moved, but yeah, it doesn't look like it will happen anytime soon. OG Anunoby, 24. Yeah, Miles is 25.5, entering his prime next season. OG Anunoby 24.2. 1.5 steals, 0.7 blocks, 70.2 points, 5.6 rebounds, 2.7 threes. He's a really good. He's small forward, power forward. He's still young, really good fantasy player. I like OG, I was not lucky to actually I don't even remember. I had a chance to grab him from a waiver wire. He was a free agent. I didn't do it. I'm regretting it. So we have guys now like Lonzo Ball, 28. We have guys like John Collins, 29, which I would put before Lonzo Ball, before OG Anunoby. I think he's gonna have a really decent, not decent, he's gonna have a really good season, and he might even go before Miles Turner. He will surely go before Evan Mobley, probably before Devin Booker. He signed new contract, so these stats here and everything here, I just don't agree with it. I'm not gonna read it. I think he's gonna be much better. I think he got used to his position in Atlanta, and I just think he's this year he's gonna have some leap. I don't know how huge leap that is going to be, but I think he's gonna be better. Number 30, Darius Garland. Okay, I agree. I think Darius is gonna have good season, almost 20 points. He's projected here for almost 20 points, 2.2 threes. Number 31, DeJounte Murray. As you know, I think he's gonna be scoring option number 2 in San Antonio Spurs now when DeMar DeRozan left. Derek White is probably be a scoring option number 1, but overall he's the guy who will give you a lot of rebounds for someone who is shooting guard, point guard, shooting guard available. But he's a shooting guard most of the time, and yeah, a lot of rebounds, a lot of assists, decent points. After him, 32, Jalen Green. I would have for me, Jalen Green, after this John Wall situation, I think Jalen Green will have as much shots as he wants. He's projected for 17.4 points. I think this is before. I think this list hasn't been updated after news broke. John Wall news broke. So 17.4 points. I think it's going to be much higher. At 20 points per game at least, 2.4 rebounds. It can be even 3. He's a big time scorer. So if he can get these rebounds, his rebounds, like everything that is projected here, 3.6 rebounds is going to be more. 2.4 assists, it's going to be more. John Wall is not playing 1.2 steals. Okay, that doesn't mean it's going to be more. Blocks also doesn't have to mean that it's going to be more, but these stats is going to be much better. He's just he's going to have a good season. I don't for many people project Evan Mobley to be on a longer, like in 5 years time from now, he's going to be better player than Jalen Green, but 5 years from now, I mean, it's a long time. This guy is gonna have a great next season, and probably season after that, and season after that. So I don't know what to tell you. If you want to risk with someone who's gonna be maybe great in 5 years time, because Cleveland Cavaliers have stacked power forward center position so much that this guy cannot get any minutes. I don't know. I would. It's a big risk. You have to think about it and make that decision for yourself. Number 33, Jalen Suggs from Orlando Magic, 20 years, 3 months old. He's projected for 15.3 points, 5.5 assists. He can be really good this season. You can consider him even in a redraft position, redraft leagues somewhere around, I don't know, 100, depending on the league that you play. He might be even for this season better than Evan Mobley. Then Julius Randle, who's He's gonna soon pass his prime. He's almost okay. He's 26.8. He's in his prime. You know everything about Julius Randle. Ben Simmons, we don't know what's his number 35. We don't know what's going on with Ben Simmons. I'm not gonna comment because everything is up in the air right now. Kristaps Porzingis, number 36, position 36, 26 years old and 1 month. He's so injury prone. I avoid those type of players, especially in dynasty leagues where you have where he's gonna be in your team for years, and if you cannot trade him away because nobody wants injury prone players. I don't know. This projection is really good, and he's projected to play 69 games, 21 points, 9.3 rebounds, 1.5 blocks, but that's just, I don't know. You just never know. Colin Sexton, 37. I don't know what's gonna happen with Colin Sexton. I don't know if they want him in Cleveland. He's called. I don't like to call him one trick pony. Many people do, but he does only score points, 23.9 points projected, and even threes are low, 1.6. So I don't know. It's Mikal Bridges, number 38, 25 years old, in 1 month. He's one of these guys that if you need someone who is good across the board in every category, then okay. Not that young. Okay, this guy is interesting. Number 31, Isaiah Stewart, 20 years, 3 months old, projected to play 75 games, 0.4 threes, maybe possible even more because he had what did I say? 0.4. Yeah, he had 0.3 last season, 11.1 points. They're not projecting the minutes that he will play here because everything depends on the minutes for Isaiah Stewart because they brought now Kelly Olynyk, and if he can get 30 minutes, that he's gonna be a great player. If he can get 28, he's gonna be really good player, and depending how high he goes in your league, he can be really great player next year and for years to come. He's not some really extraordinary talent, but he can be starting center, top, I don't know, 10. He's listed power forward center. He's not that high. He's 6.8, but he blocks. He's projected to block 1.6 blocks per game. I think that can be higher. 9.1 rebounds, maybe a little bit too much considering what he was doing last season, but I cannot say that this is impossible. 11.1 points. It can be more. I think it will be more if he gets minutes. In my dynasty league, I will, because we can keep certain number of players. We cannot keep players who are on the injury list. So I decided to keep him, and instead of keeping Mitch Robinson, I'm gonna get rid of Mitch Robinson in favor of this guy. So I believe in this guy. Next guy is Jonathan Isaac. I'm a maybe only believer in Jonathan Isaac, maybe because I have him in my league, and because when he was healthy, he was just crazy good. He's not going to be playing back-to-backs as everybody's saying this season. Only 60 games per season. They're saying 0.93s. I think he can go over 1.3. He was going over 1.3 before. 10.3 points. I think he can go more than that. 5.4 rebounds. Even, yeah, I think he can go more 1.1 assist. Well, I don't know. 1.3 steals. Yeah, more 1.7 blocks. Maybe less. Maybe that's the good number. I believe in this guy, but everything depends on his health. Everything depends on his health. He's been injured for almost 2 years, almost 2 seasons now. I don't know what's gonna happen with him. I wish him all the best because I'm gonna let some good players in my league in order to keep him. He's small power forward. Then we have PJ Washington. I'm not sure about him. He might be starting from the bench. I would be careful with him. Michael Bridges might take over his position at power forward. He's going to be power forward this season, probably. Robert Williams, 42. It's so risky to talk about Robert Williams. Their opinions that vary so much. I don't know what to think. I haven't been following him that closely. Didn't have him in many leagues. I don't know if these projections 9.5 points, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, if that's realistic. He might be really good. I don't know if I don't want to call him bust, even though bust is a player that you don't get value from him. It's not the player who plays who has a really bad season. It's if you draft him at 42 here and he's like, I don't know, 50, that's bust for you. I hope he will be good. But there are many different opinions and I don't know what to think. Christian Wood, another guy that I have, he's 26 years old. I think he will have a good season, especially now when all this usage rate that John Wall had is going to be redistributed. Yeah, I'm not native English speaker, as you can see. Redistributed amongst other guys, he's option number 1 in Houston, I think. Him and Green. So 20 points, 9.3 rebounds, steals, not 0.8, 1.1 block. I think those blocks can be higher. 1.8 threes. He's a good player. He's projected to play 70 games. I hope so. He has never played that many games in NBA. Jarrett Allen, number 44, as you know, signed new contract. Nice points, 13.6. Nice rebounds, 10.6. Nice blocks, 1.5. He's gonna play, and people who wanted to draft Mobley are kind of upset because of that. Mitch Robinson, number 45. I told you I will get rid of Mitch Robinson in favor of Isaiah Stewart. He's projected. He doesn't score threes. Most of his points. He has 8.8 points. Projection, but those are his points actually. Like 8.8, 8.2 rebounds, steals. Steals are what? Okay, let's leave steals for it. 1.7 blocks. That's all well and good. His blocks got he was the second best blocker in the league in his rookie season. Yeah, last season not that good. I think he was 1. Yeah, he finished 1.5. He was injured a lot. 71. He's projected to play in 71 games here, but his steals are good for a center, 1.1. So you're getting a guy with low points but really good rebounds. Blocks, 1.7. Blocks that have potential to be much higher. Even these points have potential to be a little bit higher, but blocks can be higher. And these steals are good. They can also get a little bit higher. So he might be better than Isaiah Stewart, but we'll have to see if he's going to be. I think he's going to be starting center in New York. though you never know with Tibbs. We have RJ Barrett, number 6. He's giving you points, over 18, threes, decent rebounds, and that's all. So if that's what you need, good. Sadiq Bey, I think this is like too high, 47. Sadiq Bey, what are they projecting? 3.1 threes. Yeah, he was a 3 specialist. 15 points, I think that's too much for Sadiq Bey. I don't know, I had him for like a few weeks or even less than that. He's a small forward. Can he do this? Can he score this much? And like, I don't know. Jeremy Grant is there. I think there are 3 guys, maybe even 4 guys in this pecking order in Detroit that are in front of him. Maybe this is too generous. Scotty Barnes, number 48, most polarizing rookie. Some people are so high on him, some people are so low on him. I don't know what to think. I would not risk with Scotty Barnes. The league has to be really deep to. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe in my league, somebody is fan of Scotty Barnes. Nothing stands out in these stats. Nothing that is worth of reading. Jamal Murray, he's injured. I have him. He will be sitting on my IL slot. Good thing I have 4 IL slots. I think he's worth of waiting, even though my policy is not to wait on players who will miss at least 1 season. Victor Oladipo was the first guy that proved me right and made me believe that when someone is injured for such a long period like he was, it's better to drop him. But since then our league introduced more injured list slots, so I can afford to keep him and see what will happen with him. I've been waiting for Jonathan Isaac to return for 2 seasons, so I guess I can wait for Jamal Murray. I can sit on Jamal Murray for, I don't know, they say he will return March, April probably. We'll see. I hope. Even if he returns in March, he is no good for your playoffs. Number 50, Wendell Carter Jr. I don't know. I don't believe in him. 9 rebounds. Everything else is low. I don't even know if these 9 rebounds are real. Jakob Poeltl, he's almost 26, 25.9. Like 9.9 points, 9.5 rebounds, 2.1 blocks. Just too much for me. I don't think this is doable. Kevin Porter Jr. 52. Yeah, these are new rankings, but these projections are not updated, and I don't know why Kevin Porter Jr. is so low, since what are they saying? The starting point guard is no, this is updated. Yeah, they're saying the starting point guard is his, with Wall having played his last game excuse. Yeah, I'm sorry, but these are updated projections. So I've been telling you they're not. They are. These projections are updated. So I don't understand why he's so low. He's gonna be their starting point guard. Why is he number 52? I don't get it. 2.1 threes, almost 18 points, 6.5 assists, 1.2 steals, 4.2 rebounds. This is so low. Just do not draft Poeltl, Carter in front of him, Scotty Barnes, Sadiq Bey, RJ Barrett. Oh my, just don't do that. There's draft Kevin Porter like 10, 15 spots earlier. DeAndre Hunter, I don't know. I'm just gonna stay. I mean, I cannot draft him anyways in a dynasty league, but I don't know what to think about this guy. He's been. I just I don't know. Miles Turner, number 40. Miles Bridges, I'm sorry, number 54. He the last season was good. Season before that was not good. Season before that he showed promise. So I don't know if he gets a starting power forward position. He might be good. These stats: 12.3 points, 5.8 rebounds, 0.6 steals, 0.8 blocks, 1.7 threes. This might be low. If he gets minutes, if he gets a starting position, he might be much better than this. But I stopped being Miles Bridges believer, so I don't know what to tell you. But realistically, there is a chance if PJ Washington is his substitute, if he starts from the bench, these numbers can be much better. D'Lo, D'Angelo Russell, 25 years old, 6 months, point guard, shooting guard. You know, he's most of the time he's injured. One of the guys that I have in my dynasty league. Yeah, you heard these talks, Philadelphia and all that. If he stays in Minnesota, he's probably going to be the third option now. I'm not sure if he's still a second option there. They're projecting him for three threes per game, 20 points, 6.1 assists, 1.1 steal. That's this. James Wiseman. Wow. I don't know what to tell you. Is he gonna start the season at all? He's probably not he's not going to be a starting center. I would rather avoid him. I really don't know. If you can get him really low in a dynasty league and you can sit on him for some time, then maybe I know that Purity is gonna keep him in my dynasty league. Then we have rookies: Josh Giddey, Alperen Şengün, Jonathan Kuminga. We have Alexei Pokusevski. Alexei Pokusevski, number 60. Number 60. There are some reporters from Oklahoma City saying that he's going to be starting power forward over there. Not that there is Beasley. We just have to wait and see what Pokusevski can do. They're saying that he's putting some weight and some muscles, and we just like he needs to get his body in much better shape. And I don't know what to yeah, he's Serbian guy, but that doesn't mean that I can tell you what to expect from him. You can take risk. You can take risk for him. I mean, he might be this new great unicorn. You never know. Then we have 61 Alexander Walker, 62 Isaac Okoro, Keldon Johnson, also polarizing player. I mean, many people think that he will have a great season now when there is no DeMar DeRozan, when the minutes and usage rate will be spread amongst Derek White and DeJounte Murray and him. I don't know what to tell you. 6.5 rebounds, 16.4 points might be too much. 1.4 threes, no defenses. Okay, 1.1 steal, 0.4 blocks. I wouldn't bet on Keldon Johnson. Then Kobe White, Tyler Hero, Marvin Bagley. I'm trying to find someone who I can recommend for you, who I like. None of these guys are. I don't think none of these guys I would draft. Marvin Bagley, Thomas Bryant, DeAnthony Melton. He might be really good if he gets minutes. If he doesn't get minutes, he won't be good. You know that. Killian Hayes, number 69, number 70. Tybal, Oneko Kongu 71, Jordan Poole 72. I'm trying to find Derek White on this list. Is he on this list at all? Number 73, Brandon Clark. 74, Markelle Fultz. 75, Kelly Oubre Jr. Where is Derek White? He's not that old. 76, Andrew Wiggins. 77, Deshaun Tate, who before John, I'm so tired. Cannot even remember players' names. Before John Wall decided to not to play for Houston anymore. He was out of the picture, but now he's back, and he might be a decent pick, decent late pick. I don't know, he's not projected here. I'm not gonna read you his stats here because it doesn't look really good, and I don't agree with it. I think he might be decent. 78 Daniel Gafford, 79 Franz Wagner, 80 Trey Murphy the third, 81 Kevin Huerter. Don't expect Kevin Huerter to be good as he was last year. Number 82 Nicholas Claxton, number 83 Chuma Okeke. Chuma Okeke, he might be decent. Maybe this is too low. Number 84 Terrence Mann, number 85 Malik Beasley. Of course, you know, we talked about him, and it's crowded in Minnesota right now. I would advise to think twice, or maybe even stay away from him completely, especially in the early rounds. Maybe as the second to last pick, I don't know. Number 86 Cam Reddish. Oh, I really like this guy. Is up and down, like, and also polarizing player. People, I give up on him. Kira Lewis Jr., Larry Markkanen, also he's in Cleveland right now. Is he gonna start? Who's gonna start? Maybe he starts in the beginning, then Evan Mobley took starting position, like, we don't know. Patrick Williams, Chicago Bulls, Danny Avdia, yeah, it's Danny Avdia, it's not Danny Avdija, like like everybody is pronouncing his name. Emmanuel Quickly, Devonte Graham, I still cannot find. Devonte Graham, yeah, I would also, I don't have hope in him. Number 3, Ivica Zubac, also not I don't know how people pronounce his name, Ivica Zubac or whatever, he's Ivica Zubac. Devin Vassell, number 94, number 95, Mo Bamba, and I obviously cannot find Derek White. I'm gonna just skip guys. There is Beasley, number 88, 98, if Bukushevsky takes that power forward position, I don't think there's gonna be much use of him. Aaron Gordon, number 100. Well, Aaron Gordon is what Aaron Gordon is, so, and he does what Aaron Gordon does, so pick your poison. Kyle Kuzma, 109. I still cannot find Derek White. Do they think like he's too old because he's like, how old? He's like 26, 27 this year. I really cannot find Derek White. Why is this? Isaiah Roby, number 132. Yeah, obviously he's not in one. Theo Melodon, 148. Nothing special. Yeah, obviously Derek White is not here. Derek White is not that old. So guys, yeah, this would be yeah, we came to number 222 where Diallo is. Rodion Kurucs won't play in NBA. He signed for Rodion Kurucs. He signed for Partizan Belgrade. Our Partizan Belgrade Košarkaški klub, basketball club, Partizan Belgrade. So I don't know why he's on this list. That should be all for this episode. I'm so tired. I don't think we're gonna continue this episode. We're not. Purity is gonna be here for the next episode. And of course, I forgot to tell you where you can find our podcast. We have you can just Google us, Fantasy NBA GOAT. We have a website. It's well, this is just great podcasting, but I will have to Google our website because we haven't been podcasting for such a long time that yeah, it's fantasynbagot.weebly.com. You see what happens when you get old. And yeah, also our Twitter handle is @FantasyNBAGoat, Facebook FantasyNBAGoat, Instagram FantasyNBAGoat. Wherever you go, it's FantasyNBAGoat. You can find us on any podcatcher that you use, literally. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, literally every podcatcher that there is. And that's all, guys. Now we're done for real. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.
So, yeah, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And what can I say? Mamba out.